Well, hi everyone. Welcome to Wednesday. Oh man. And if you've been watching my show the last few weeks, you've noticed that I'm sort of taping it around different parts of the lake. And today, we're high above Miss Liberty down at the Dock Club and the Pine Knot Marina. And I'm going to have a special guest today live, and we're going to talk about Miss Liberty. If you haven't been on it, boy, you have missed it. We have 3 tour boats on. Miss Liberty is the largest of all of the boats. And I tell you, it is something. And it's going to be great. But let me give you the weather first. Boy, the last couple of days, we've had a sort of muggy weather with the monsoons sort of coming in. Not much rain, just a little at times. And boy, we got some sirens going too. That is cool. Now those are live, so you know we're not doing anything special on them. So anyway, today Wednesday, the high today is going to be in the high 70s, 76. Tonight, about 49 degrees. And then tomorrow, about 78 degrees. And about the same temperature at night, about 78, about 58 or 59. And then on Friday, it's 78. We're still in the 70s. But, you know, it's muggy. And then, of course, on Saturday, we're supposed to get thunder and lightning and monsoon weather. So get ready for that on Saturday. But it's not going to spoil the finale of the Old Miners week. I tell you, Old Miners, this is the last weekend. In fact, tonight, Wednesday night, is the final of the Burro Palooza. This is held out at Shea Meadow, and it was Monday night, Tuesday night, and tonight, Wednesday, is the latest. And if you have never watched donkey baseball, you've got something in store for you that's funny. They have to hit the ball, and then they got to drag the burros around the bases. And those burros can get mighty stubborn, I tell you. So anyway, it's $5 admission. It's out at the Los Vaqueros Arena in Shea Meadow area. And if you have an Old Miners button, you get $1 off. It's only $4. And children 12 and under are free. And the Burro Derby, there's actually 3 events out there tonight. Starting at 3 to 5, it's going to be the Burro Derby. From 4:30 to 6, the Junior Rodeo. And then starting at 6:30 to 8 is the Donkey Softball Game. This you've got to see, folks. And it's well worth it. It's really, really good. And then, of course, this Saturday is the zaniest, craziest parade you've ever seen. The Doodah Parade. It's going to be over in beautiful, historic downtown Bunskin. And it's free. And they pack in, I don't know, 100,000 people into that little 2-block area of downtown Bunskin. And that starts at 10 a.m. And be sure to take water, because it's out in the sun, and it gets a little, well, we might have rain. So if we have rain, you don't need the water. You can just open your mouth, look up. Anyway, and then the finale is on Sunday night. It's a spaghetti western murder mystery dinner theater. I've been many years asking them, why don't you do, sort of what they call a melodrama. We used to do it years ago. Richard Milner was one of the actors. He's standing here now as one of our audience. But we used to do it in a tent where Veterans Park is now. And it's where you hiss and moan and yell at the villain and throw peanuts at him. And it's really a hoot to watch a melodrama. They're going to have it out at the convention center, and it's a dinner mystery. So be sure to go out there. It's $25 a person, but it's well worth it. And that is the closing shindig, as they call it, to Old Miners Day. The name of it is, of the melodrama is Deal Me Dead. It's a lively Old West murder mystery dinner theater that may become part of the rootin' tootin' bootin' kickin' whatever it all is, spaghetti western. And they're going to have spaghetti to match it. So be sure to go on out there at the convention center starting at 5 o'clock on Saturday evening. And then that is the finale of the 2011 Old Miners Days. And this year, folks, I think everybody agrees it's been the best Old Miners Days celebration that we've had in years. And congratulations to Diane, the president, the board, all the volunteers. It takes a lot of people to put it on, and every event they've had this year has been highly successful. So that's pretty cool. Well, anyway, that's about it for Old Miners Days, and I think we'll stop a second. And then I want to find the captain of Miss Liberty. And we'll talk about some of the historic things that happened on this boat. So I'll be back in a minute.
Thanks for tuning in to Good Day Big Bear. Please check.
Wow. And of course, the pilot house was off.
Yes, they
The
had.
smokestacks were off.
That's true.
And
Came on a big flatbed truck.
That's right.
Can you imagine how wide this and how?
And when it got up here, it went to the East Lawn Tramp.
And they had to put it in.
That's right.
Oh boy, that was a humdinger.
Oh, what a job that was.
Oh.
It scraped the bottom, getting it in. That ramp wasn't
steep enough.
Oh, me.
Well, there's a lot of good stories, and I'd love to tell you about them if we've got the time.
Sure we do.
Here's what's going to happen. We're going to walk around. I'm going to take you into the pilot house now, and you can see that it's controlled. This is where it all happens. And here we can control the diesel engines. We've got all our navigation equipment, from the radar to the compasses to the GPS. Because, Ron, you never know.
If you're going to get lost on the lake.
Well, not only that, but you know, that fog rolls in over the lake.
Sure.
And we're in the middle of soup.
That's right.
We got to be able to find our way back. And as we work across, and then we work hand in hand also with the Lake Patrol, because we see things that the Lake Patrol can't. Upside down watercraft out there, and kids that might be needing some help, so we slow down and we'll help out everybody. But our tour around the lake is so much fun. It takes about 90 minutes. And when we're going around, we point out historical things like, what happened in Sawmill Cove. We even swing by and ring the bell, and sometimes Noel Blank even comes out of his home on Sawmill Cove. With a megaphone.
Yeah.
And he gives us the "What's up, Doc?" and everybody loves it. We take people down, go through Boulder Bay.
Around China Island?
We don't go around it, we go by it.
Oh, that's right.
We're just a little bit too deep. Too big to go through there. Now, we could probably do it, to be honest, but we're so wide, we'd be a real tight fit between those rocks.
And also, there's a lot of boats and people jumping off the rocks.
Oh, lots.
So it's quite dangerous.
And then we always try to tell people a history of the lake a little bit. From the Serrano Indians, when they were up here a couple thousand years ago, we point out their original dam. We go through and we point out the dam keeper's house and a lot of the history and who lives on the lake.
That's right.
Did you know that Richard Mull used to have a place on the lake? And we'll point that out.
Sure.
And then we also point out things like Olivia Newton-John, and we're talking about places for Max Factor family and John Stevens. You probably don't know John Stevens.
Sure.
Yeah, the name John Stevens, he is the chief of the entire Sioux Nation.
Wow.
And he has a house up here. But then we come back down on North Shore Drive. And North Shore Drive. We
North
actually
Shore.
go on the North Shore.
Yeah, right.
We actually, it's a little tough on the road.
Sure, right.
And but we point out things like the Forest Service and talk about the fires in 2003 and 07, and come down and we talk about the big golf ball floating out in the middle of the lake, which some people call an observatory.
That's right.
I try to tell people it's actually a drive-through Dairy
Sure.
Queen, but they don't go for that.
And your history is not, you know, stale.
Oh.
I mean, you guys try to inject a lot of.
Oh, humor is the
Humor
name
in
of the
there.
game, and we do a great job.
Yeah.
And everybody does it
A lot of people don't
differently.
know we had a ferry here at one time.
That's correct.
That went across down here.
And it actually went from Fawnskin over to Midori Land,
Right.
which is, and we point out that, and it's actually the narrowest part of the lake. And the dock is still there on the south side.
Yeah, the concrete.
And then it used to go over to, I believe, Moon Camp
It did.
on the north side. And unfortunately, it's not around anymore. But, you know, in the old days, we try to tell people, you know, the problem was the roads aren't like they are today.
Yeah.
So to get from one side to the other, you had to float across.
Oh, sure.
And it turned out great. But, you know, everybody that comes aboard, we've got things like 90 minutes. We've got things to tell them, things to do. And, of course, we have a galley on board.
That's right.
And,
you have drinks.
And we actually have one of the few boats that has, anything soda pop to wine to beer to champagne to water, you name it, and snacks, plus restrooms. That's
right.
a big deal.
That's a big thing.
It is. It's a
Lot
real
of it,
big thing.
because you're not going to turn around and come back for someone that.
Well, and you can bring the kids. The kids can come on. We have family groups.
And they have to go to the bathroom more than anybody. I mean, just for the fun of it.
Just for the fun of it. Now, I want to tell you, Ron, just yesterday, we had a wedding on board.
Oh, sure.
You remember, Ben Brissy.
Sure.
Sure, he was best man.
He was.
And we had a wedding on board, and it was in the Hawaiian theme. We went out in there, and they got married by the captain right on board. And
are you eligible?
I am.
You're not ordained,
well,
but you are the captain.
The Universal Life Church. That's right. I am an ordained minister from 1978 for weddings and divorces, and I even do, for enough money, I do 24-hour weddings. I'm only kidding, but but we had a beautiful wedding. I'm completely legal. We had everything. They had a ball, and we had a great time. So for special events, people are always looking to us for something special.
I know it. So anyway, do you have the number that they would call to get information?
Oh, I should have it, shouldn't I?
I know.
Well, just come down to the Pine Knot Marina.
Right.
Pine Knot Marina, Miss Liberty. If you have a computer, just Google Miss Liberty Big Bear.
You bet.
Or just stop by. You'll always see our bus parked right out front with the twin stacks.
Right.
Pull right in, or just come in. And I'm not sure what that means.
Okay.
Okay.
And you're you go out every day.
Every day, 7 days a week.
Now, how often?
Well, on weekends, generally it's 10, 12, 2, and 4, and sometimes 6 in the evening. Midweek, you can go probably 12, 2, and 4. But what you do is just come down or call Miss Liberty, and they'll tell you what our schedule is for that day.
Right.
And you can sometimes be as few as 15, 20 people on board, but we will hold as many as 125 people.
I know it. It's a big
It's
boat.
a big boat, and we've had receptions here, and we've done everything.
Yeah.
But I sure want to thank you for coming on board.
Thanks, Captain.
Well,
Captain
anytime.
Dennis Thomas, everybody.
Well, you know, when you're a volunteer, you make the big bucks.
That's for sure. Thanks. Long-time friend.
Long time
And keep
friend.
having fun.
Oh, Ron.
In your retirement
In
days.
my retirement. Thank you for having me.
Okay, I'll be back in a minute, folks. 100 by 100 was the only one that actually burned. So anyway, that's my show for today, folks. Don't just make it a good day, make it a great one. And I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye-bye.
I'm getting and down the same old strip.